All right, on this episode of Bowks Talking Bouts, going to shout out the sponsors here, Sovereign Extracts. You can check them out for some great CBD oil, a variety of cartridges, THC, CBD, some hybrid options as well. Also, big shout out to USG Canada, putting out great apparel for boxers, MMA fighters, and for fans alike. And a big guest on today's show, talking to an individual who's going to be vying for that CFFC strawweight title. It is a vacant belt. We've got Jasmine Jasudavicius taking on Elise Reed. It goes at CFFC 83 on August the 13th, and I've got Jasmine on the show right now. How's your day going so far there, Jasmine?
My day's going really well, actually. My coach, we did some pads earlier and then a swim workout. We've been doing a lot of, taking advantage of, tide in the summer, and he's got a nice pool, so really building those lungs. It's crazy how much of a workout you can do in a pool.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if you've had to alter the methodology a little bit for this one, just with the pandemic and whatnot. Are some of these measures as a result of kind of adjusting to the given circumstance, or just more so just trying out new things?
Yeah, I mean, the circumstances has kind of forced us to try these things, which I'm actually really happy about. Moving forward, I'm gonna definitely use it in future camps. I feel like it's really, really building my lungs up. I love it. It's tough.
Yeah, so who have you been working with lately then? I imagine some of the usual suspects from Niagara Top Team and some individuals like that, but do you have to handle it in smaller groups and just try to alter it like that there?
Yeah, we have a small group that we're working with. Luckily, we've only been in contact with each other for this whole entire time. We got Anthony Romero. He's preparing for his big Contender Series fight.
Oh, yeah.
So he's in the gym training, and so we have both him and I, of course, as well as Aaron Jeffries. He's got a fight. So all of us, we need our partners, and we've been fortunate enough that our coaches are able to work with us, and we're able to get into the gym. There's I have two guys that I'm working with a lot, and then they all have a couple guys that they're working with, and we're making it do with what we have, and keeping there's kind of to a minimum, but still.
Yeah, and it seems like wrestling has been a big part of this camp. I mean, past camps, obviously, it was a big focus too, and getting in great work with, Prickett there and the Brock team and everything like that. But is that a fair characterization, just ramping that up even more, the wrestling aspects?
Yeah, so, wrestling's so hard on your body. It's hard getting to, the Brock practices, they're 2 hours a night, they're super intense, and wrestling is so hard on your body. You're exhausted the next day. It's hard to go a hard wrestling practice and then the next morning to have any pop in your step for say sparring or striking or anything. So we will out of camp work a lot more wrestling just for intervention and all that kind of stuff. So because of this whole COVID thing, I've been doing tons and tons of wrestling because there's been no fights kind of in any close time frame, and so yeah, super focused on the wrestling. Before it was maybe a little bit of a weakness of mine, but I'm working and working, and I want it to be one of my strengths now. And I have such an amazing coach Chris Prickett. He's a dynamite wrestler, as well as I'm still able to work with a couple of the wrestlers Alex Bower. He's a little guy that I'm able to train with, and he's given me those wrestling looks, and so I'm just diving right into it. Dove into the collegiate wrestling a little bit too, so it's been sick.
Yeah, for sure. And I noticed that recent post you had there where you were talking about how 5 years ago you started your whole journey, and 2 years ago was the amateur debut, and 1 year ago there was the pro debut. It kind of seems like everything's falling into place around similar times, just getting those different marks in the timeline there and everything like that. When did you initially hear about this fight though for CFFC? When did the dialogue get rolling for it initially?
So it's probably been in the talk maybe 2 weeks. I mean, maybe before my manager maybe knew before, but I've known that there was an option and they were looking for opponents for about 2 weeks, and I got one locked in, and looking forward to it. Like she signed the contract, and then finally at 115, I'm gonna be able to finally fight at the correct weight class. So it'd be good.
Yeah, I imagine you're happy about that because I've seen you take certain catch weights and flyweight fights, but it seems like strawweight is the ideal division. So happy to see you get that opportunity there. But I'm kind of curious about the familiarity with your opponent here. Like even just doing my background, I was noticing they have that 7-1 amateur record, and the win they have on their record is a finish in the Bellator ranks there. How familiarized are you with Elise Reed and just the skill set that they're looking to bring to the table there?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know too much about her. I don't watch my opponents too much. I leave that up to my coaches. They're super good. So they're the ones that make the game plan for her. She's obviously a talented athlete. I think she was 9-1 amateur and like 1-0 pro. So she's actually like technically has more fights than me. I've got more pro experience, but I mean, I think we're pretty even. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm happy that we're able to both actually get a fight in. Like, not a lot of people are fortunate enough to be getting fights right now, and so we're super lucky.
Yeah, and I got to ask about the BTC 8 performance and stuff like that there real quick, just because the quickest win in your career, fastest knockout in BTC. And obviously I mentioned before the Niagara Top Team affiliation, getting the Niagara W and stuff like that. Just all factors considered, like what was that night and like how did that, resonate with you? Like I imagine that was like a pretty euphoric moment for you.
Yeah, that was absolutely amazing. So it was nice. It was in Niagara Falls, so like 10 minutes from literally from my doorstep, and so all my friends and family were finally able to make it. Most of my fights prior have been like at least 2 hours away, if not more. So only so many people can really make it to those. So it was awesome to be able to put on such like a dominant performance in my hometown in front of my friends and family. Like, of course, it was very nerve wracking because it's hometown and it's like everyone's kind of expecting you to do all these great things. So I'm really happy that I was able to perform to the best of my abilities, and I would love to fight at home again. I can't wait for like the next opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, just a quintessential performance all around. You mentioned some friends being out there in the crowd, though. I understand you have a best friend who said they'd get a tattoo of your face on their body if you get to the UFC. Were they there? I imagine they were maybe nervous in a different way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They were there. She has come to a couple of my fights now, and she's accepted that she's getting this tattoo, and it's so funny because it's just like a known thing with our friends now. Like, and it's not like she's tatted up all over, and it will just be like an additional thing. Like, she only has one other tattoo, and so it's gonna be so perfect.
Yeah, that's gonna be it's gonna be an interesting situation there for sure. But just a bit earlier in the conversation, talking about some different things for this camp, I was also hearing in another interview you were talking about something called Kundalini Yoga. Like it seems like it's mostly like breathing centric and stuff like that. Like for someone like myself who's not that familiarized with what that is, like how would you describe it for I guess like a neophyte to that yoga style?
Yeah. So I mean, I don't really know that much about it, in all honesty. Like I've been just like it's not like I've been to a class or anything like that. I just found it on YouTube, and there are like kind of more like exercise ones that are like harder on your body, and they are a workout. But like the particular ones that I do, like I do it every morning. I almost like made up one myself, and it's mainly just like breathing, and it'll be like engaging your core and like kind of like lifting your not like your pelvis but like your insides, I guess. And I feel like it like really like oxygenates your body. I guess I don't know. You do it. It's like maybe 10-15 minutes, and it's like breathing, moving, and breathing at the same time. But it's some of it's slow and some of it's fast. And like apparently you can get like a DMT style trip off of it. I've never experienced that, but I'm hoping one day that I do. That'd be pretty awesome. I once everything opens back up, I'm gonna try to actually find a place that does it, because I'm just like scratching the surface. I don't know enough about it to really anything. I'm making up pretty much.
Well, I think that kind of articulates the mindset you have, just always wanting to, learn more and improve and stuff like that. But I thought it was kind of cool. It sort of reminded me of like the Hickson Gracie techniques from that Choke documentary back in the day.
Yeah, it is kind of like similar to that, or like Wim Hof, how he does like the breathing technique.
Oh yeah.
Before he does. Yeah, it's kind of like that. You get kind of like that same head rush. Like I've done the Wim Hof thing, and I kind of dabble in that as well. Like I'll do the cold. I do only cold shower, but I'll do hot bath to kind of like get my body prepped for cutting the weight. But every morning I have like a cold shower and do the breathing, and it feels good. You feel good throughout the day because of it, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's a ton of benefits to that kind of stuff. I should probably be doing more of that myself, to be fair. But you've been really good with your time, Jasmine. I'm curious if there's anything you'd like to sort of add as a parting thought as we're wrapping up here, though.
No, I just want to thank you very much for having me, and look forward to putting on a show soon.
Yeah, well, I was really excited about this fight, and just Joey giving me some little teasers about a big fight coming up, and this certainly fits the bill. We got Jasmine Jasudavicius taking on Elise Reed. It goes at CFFC 83, August 13th, and that vacant strawweight title is up for grabs. Thanks again for all the time and insights, Jasmine. Best of luck with the remaining part of your preparations, and have a good rest of your day, too.
Thank you. You as well.